Nega jangam baga ke bujoga gedeng to kebor ke timrul kuya ke jingu ke ya tergo jal ror ko pio geni jona jite gijiri kula makol kudia ke choke ki jon banya ke jengin ke dubet ke amojara putong tong kunwer ki mat ke jieng man ke jeni jona no ngatera je bai we yor we mu boje baye akaji choke kwatar kwa kum chokudeng kunyoga dumi je bai tioba tul ko kuyena beben be manu marum jito yena beto num lawe diar mogumi goge ko ngodeman tioba tul ko kuyena beben be manu marum jito yena beto num lawe diar mogumi goge ko ngodeman kinir poni jingo garil pot monjangan pyo yom kwan majweng chiwo ke go twat kanin kenir poni jemo garil pot monjangan pyo yom kwan majweng chiwo ke go twat kanin oyu kai wong odiewa jarat ku mor mor ku kadu ku daldal ku intifada ku to kul ge jamut tiger ge timta te kwen koy wundar bai o gaju in monjang don riel pyopel pandangara idunu bai gay o nyuji tuje kawani to nyachi jarunga kir mayar bentel ba benye yina ko tuj rom benin gediak agertine dabeb kuantinum nyal awo wedang gore ji pingara meja chwa beje dangen kala jenyi garang jenye budorom kwane chok jenye piro wal kuga cherio kwatar ke jenye dom wew beje dangen kala jenye garang jenye budorom kwane chok jenye piro wal kuga cherio tar ke jenye dom wew Pinyachi Wakarudo, Bran Bejam, Logutong Gayukuman, Quacherio, Aduru Karan Kinti, Kagacho Gajananga will Pandachi Wakarudo, Bran Bejam, Logutong Gayukuman, Quacherio.
My son, Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, Vice President for Economic Cluster, Senior Advisors, our national ministers, speakers and deputy speakers of our two houses, ambassadors, family of Majur Dak, جيش الشعب بقيادة بتاعه ما فيه بوليس كان أنا وقعت بعدين أنتوا أجروا يا جيش ألهمني لكن أنا قمت عشان ننزل يشوفوني ونشوفهم الليلة يوم بتاع الليلة أنا شايف زي ده أو إيرز بتاع مجوري أو عملوها الليلة ده إيرز بتاعه ده ما موت في مقام الأول أنا داير نقول نشكر الرئيس بتاعنا سلفا كير ميادين بطريقة اللي هو عمل the way he handled this situation. At the same time also I wanted to commend our security forces, the way they have handled this. Even I said this in my house, that there is a maturity in security because the way you handle the situation. At the same time, the way you handle it, make it that it has isolated the issue to Nasir. It has not been tribalized, politicized, also isolate the case to Western Equatoria. This is maturity. But what I wanted to say here, في ناس بيقولوا ليه ماما ربيكا بسكت يال بتاعي ده منعمل زي جنا كان بعمل أكل بدلو وقاعد يأكل بكورك وأكل في فراسه من بمشي بيعمل مشاكل ويقول ماما ربيكا وينه كان يكلم What I wanted to say today ده كلام أنا قلته في زمن دكتور جون كان مات دكتور جون ده عدو ياو قتله لكن أنا كان ما حبيت عشان عدو يموت because دكتور جون كان ماذا agreement مع عدو بتاعه at the same time بيجا كان مع عدو ومات في يد عدو بلانو منعمل وقبال اتفاقية مضاو ومشى وقع في شريك بتاعت الكلام كان عمله what they did كان ربطوه عشان كلام قتل دكتور جون ده كان ما حاجة عمله في يوم واحد. It is something which has been planned seriously. عشان كان ده حاجة بسيط كان عمله كان جون غير ما كان مات. لكن أنا وقفت فوق. I stood up. I swallowed bitterness. And I called for calm and peace. And I say, and I'm going to quote it again, Dr. John Matt, he died with only 5 people, and he himself. South Sudan is here. Sudan is here. Our agreement is here. Lo Fizol Amal is still in move. They are also a to agreement, but Bahuzatu is the one who's going to kill the agreement. If I can stand up, who are you, Shanita Tamil Mashakil? Ana Kante Hajal Katal Dictoriani to be achieved. And who was South Sudan? Al Nina Fogo Alela. So I wanted to appeal Kalamde not to be politicized, not to be tribalized, yakuna isolated. ما مات في يد عدو ومات في يد أهله ناسه ده الناس بتاعه يا قتلوا لما هو قاعد في الناصر 8 سنة وكان قاعد في وسط الناس بتاعه وكان ما بعرف يزول بقوم في النص بتاع الناس بتاعه يقتلوا. But I wanted to say بطريقة بتاعت بايبل بين ده شيطان يا خش في بطن بتاعنا كجنوبين and it is making us killing ourselves. كلام ده أنا داير كلام ده خلوا في يد بتاع الرئيس وكماندر إن شيف وناس بتاع security. ناس ما يخشوا فوق عشان يعمل مشاكل. كل زول أنا لما أنا قاعد نسمع ناس القاعدين يدي speeches في البيت بتاع المجور زول بيجي مع حاجة في قلبه بتاعه ده يجي يقولوا ده ما موت مجور. ده عمل زي زمن بتاع كورونا مرة قالوا والله كورونا عمل حاجة كويس والله راجل بتاع هذا ده كان ما بآخر ما بقول والله كان في ترافيك جام ولا لسه كان ضرب فجأة قال this woman is talking her heart. So this is what people are saying. موليك فرصة بتاع المجور عشان يجي يقول كلامات اللي في جوا قلوبهم وده بيجيب مشاكل. Don't exaggerate things. يال القاعدين يموتوا ده يال بتاعنا إنها نسوان. يال الناس القاعدين يموتوا الرجال بتاع بنات بتاعنا وده grandchildren بتاعنا. الجيش يمبور ده ما جيش يمبور الكبير بقولوا بتاع يوم ده Gen Z القريب ده among them few our grandchildren كان جانا بقى قلعنا بعمل كيف مش بعملوا تامي إنت بنادي جانا بتاع في بيت عدو ما جالس أمون مرض في يدنا هنا في جوبا يال بتاعنا خلينا security يعمل شغل بتاعه ما ندخل لسان بتاعنا فوقه مجور ودخل أول ناس المشى لحركة شعبية. أنا واحد من الناس قام من بور يوم 18 مشيت غابة وفي senior person أنا سمعت كان في ناس قال أنا يا senior person I'm the senior person here and this is why I'm carrying نصايا الليلة لو أنا كان ما senior ده شنو بقول نصايا في يدي. مجور مشى خطأ كاكي في ظهر بتاعه لكان مات كاكي في ظهر بتاعه. I wanted to tell you Majur Dak is a very brave officer. Not only because أنت لما تكون brave officer تعمل شغل أنت عملته ده تعليم وتربية ألقاب معك في بيتكم. That's something that you took from your home. Majur is a very disciplined child. Atan badak biga في الجيش. ومات رجل عظيم. أنا دايما أقول للمرة بتاعه what did to tell you يا رجل ini tigre lini ay pio. Nyimo ndwa jagam. Achi game yakul. Ja doj gam. So ma jura ja doj to. Go ke bi jej ba to den wa ja doj gam ja doj to. So cái chân lúa mình nuôi cool chỉ mình sản phải chân lôi, ý nuôi nó mít cù, nó cái bê diao, sao rập xí cái này, những cái em mới chạy cor, ý ní nhà đi chú đi chơi tiếng Anh liền, ý tiếng Anh thì cái chuyện mình nuôi cho quý ra đấy, em ăn nó bà rất nhiều. Điều là mấy anh muốn ngay, anh chỉ có muốn gì rồi quán cái anh có không? And by the way, chắc mà nó rửa ra ngay nhưng mà đi rửa cả ngay như thế nào liền mỗi một tiếng thì nó cả ngay, còn ai liền đi nó cả cắt. Era luôn nó cắt của lão phải nó cứ bị lùi à nó tiếng cái yên ngay, cái cái về chẳng ngay. Còn này chia lên nó càng Mabior ra trái vô cái lính chỉ bố này cái, gọi là lâu gì, gọi là mít quả cuốn nó ngàn nào lúc cái ngàn nó, cái bác cái nó cái mít cái, cái đang ở rồi bây giờ ơi, Gore ko ba lo gore na jali to ka le ki ko ngam we no mo mi ti ko ba ja ja ji be chat ka ne ja be le ngi jude how do you know the luck that I have a mere group to can again be chat can yin ga wan chen tong be la to be pan duon be pan ja ka nyol kan ja ka nyol chin nyol ang wi dai ka kar ba le ki ne ka chi moi noer ye luel aluel ku luel jin Jesus God Mary God gwandi do yira do guru bo way ga gwandi ko ba jam ngene nyale nyaay ro da ni Jesus an ko ba jam ngene nyale ko ba jam no wo ko ci dir haraka si aba guru ro jane na ya to wajin e way jira na ngay bi yalla mo lo wo yira du wo yira ci wala wo pal ke wo ci nim long mar di arabe wo ci nim mar mi rabe aju ka ga tim nga ka mande nga ka ra ruai ka ye mi ka majur ka ka er mara bere ji man abi nyir ngom aji ka gwera le kuna ya bada ya ma tiran ba ka ti luai ka wade ko na kin je jang ngom junu ba ban ka ji ran le brang ko kare dan aji doi luel wana ba dan bebe mukena karbar yang macara ka bagori aji banya ci luel dan abi ka be goleri ko leri ko disama men jalo ko la kalin aji loy ko luel ku ka gol ben la ngajongule be ko jongule ngati mu dan sin awan le wan ci me kene mur le chen ma shake lo le ko ngole ke ji bedali ci dan bela be jongule ci ndukuru ne tem ke ci ko belew this time pelbu ka the security be akelo in wide kunye ko rutin wo siasin ko nga yan biar ko ya rer wan bai pan dia sanan ci kur baka dia rul dia bajwa e junum le ye mama nyande ye le junum di da woni apa nga jan ga mana junum ku junum wen nan ka si to jeo ke ne ya mu gi no ma George Washington ke garam Mabior jeo ja ku nyande di to no hey, I have arrived. You have not arrived anywhere. I wanted to tell you this. Remove the monkey hand from the pot before it becomes the human hand. Nyai ke chien na go ke kong ben ke chien ran. Jana lang yin Nasir kana ngi mashakil lo rutin. Mashakil tiyo kana wo. Karani rana terrani ande. Du ko ja tew ka jinn woy gu e ka kar ba luel ke ne tene atiyo kana mashakil rana tera ti hotel ka ti ndien kar ba luel ya ba le ko security ko bela khas jej loy ka organization of it because general a ci rer fi garrison general ma furul ba rer fi state capital asana neng je kuneng dam kor ka doi loy ku bitu aja san be garrison be ko kuna aja general to ti ke je be dam be yo no garrison ay mu da be tumro da che general le brigade ne mu bai ki ya da bur ban ki ya ti ke ne ban la ka no ko ke ne ban da bi da ji da askare ya ti ati seban so lo ai ke kan ba ke guira san be je be guira pet be anang dam na nang dam mer kai Majur kai to alu el garam Mabior na ya le ken ku la ye mo chin go ya ri ni tifage go le man Mabior je la chin ko tu alo na Bashir e jeng daga ye war ku jeng ye jo to kan da ke jara beriyo kin yan jeng ye war ku ka ja je la chin ene che to chalo itifage be na ba reis gam ke jire so akor be guira pet ta ben ke jeng de to no ken Majur endo ga benang nin e jam ken ko fi kanda eta baba like this we jeje we kidi le we do ala lo pa ni ala anji ka da ja lo we ta ra ja lo ko lo we le ka wo ko ja lo we nyin mo ko che du ko che to nga wa ne pa ke ni chin ko to tin mo ko ja to na ju buru ro ki yi je ni sa ja ba be ne te dan ku ja yi Mabior garan ku rem si ni je ba be ne ka ju lakini ayo wo jo cho ma na kwa sa ya wo chin je ma ja de na je ko ga ni ya ben kai ma ne ko ni ja ben kai vice president ku ene me ya John en bi juno be na John ku le na ja ka ma Rebecca ja bo en man ni na je lo we ko buru ro je an bi ya John pa ni ko le ma ba le ne we di re kana chen na chi ba ya TV ko kor be na ti TV wo ro du mi ka Majur ya mi ku ka ini ramu hata wanto Majur che na mungi ku ana jela pandu wa pandu yu ke gwire rit wa le na yar ma bru gi ba ngi gwir go le ma na por de gik ya ga su ka ten tinga general ay la por de gik su ka ten mu en mi ke ngot ko loy men ka ana na ku dari ya wen je ya ga ku ke vice president anang chia kien ga wen tung dien to oi na ya ga ku vice president wo che dam me ya e ga le we ju no Sudan do wo je ga na wo ya ga yen wo ga chin wo chi ga dom chin me ya ku kai yi vice president ma furut benan kam cha be jam wazir ang mo ngaben ene rana bela gorpin so che we pe bat ko ko je lo ga je ko kara ji ka no narien ga un ko wa ko jang di la je
Benjamin Bullmill واكد ليه الآن هو عايزين دعم عشان لازم التنفيذ الجيش لازم يتوحد فنحن بدينا في الإجراءات نحن بدينا التدريب هيبدأ ولغاية يوم 30 شهر 11 السنة دي الجيش يكون موحد الجيش هيكون واحد ما هيكون في 2 جيش تاني زي ما قال الكومريد جون اتفاق السلام دي والرئيس بتاعنا كان قال اتفاق ده ما كويس جبروا لنا فنحن ماشيين قدام في تنفيذ هسه في عمل الاستيعاب الاول هو التوحيد الاول اللي عملناه والثاني هيبدا قريب دي واي زول كان اللي بكون برا نحن بنشوفه الجيش الابيض ده بيقولوا وايد بورده لازم ده ما موجود في اتفاقيه لازم ينزع السلاح بتاعه ينزع السلاح بتاعه وده مسؤولية بتاع الجيش والقوات الأمنية الأخرى زول ما موجود في اتفاق السلام لازم ينزع السلاح بتاعه وأنا بقول للمواطنين بتاعنا لازم برضو الدولة كل لازم سلاح ده في يد المواطن ده ما كويس بالنسبة للدولة بتاعنا ما في زول بيحمي نفسه إلا الحكومة يا بيدي حماية لك الناس بتاعنا بيقتل بعضهم بسلاح نهب بسلاح السلاح ده ما جابوا له عشان نرجع لنفسنا القبائل كله لازم يسلم سلاح بتاعهم لو ما سلموا سلاح ما يكون في سلام في البلد، ما يكون في استقرار في البلد. حتى في داخل القبيلة ذات الناس بشكل براو. دي مسؤولية تاعنا كلنا، ما في زول مؤمن. إذا كان يد بكون سلاح بكون يد في يد المواطن. زي ما شفناه هسه في جيش مبور، شفناه هذاك في غرب الاستوائية وفي مناطق أخرى موجودين. ما بكون عندنا كلام كثير، لأنه قلنا هنا لازم الواحد we must have to unite. And work for peace in our country. نتوحد ونعمل من أجل السلام. السلام من الغريب. ناس بيخشوا الكنيسة في مسجد ولسه يقتلوا نفسهم ليه؟ يقاتلوا. في دول تاني بشجع الناس يشاكلوا. في دول ما داير نقول اسماء بتاعهم، لكن بيأيدوا القتال، لازم الناس يشاكلوا. نعترض منهم. نحن ما ممكن برضه نكون آمنين إذا كان نحن بدنا ناخد حياة بتاعنا في يد بتاع أجانب. NGOs الكثير خلانا نكون جعانين. أقل حاجة نقول عايزين أكل بتاع UN منظم يجيب أكل. بدين أكل ليش شنو؟ نحن بنديو شنو؟ الأكل ده ربنا بيجيبه لهم ليه ما يجيب لنا هنا؟ ليه ربنا بديو للناس دي عشان يجي يدونا؟ ما ربنا يدينا له دايركتلي. ما ربنا الناس دي بيشتغلوا يزرعوا ونحن ما دايرين نزرعوا لأن السلاح في يدنا. يا الناس ياكلوا في جوبا هنا قاعدين في جوبا. حكومة ما ليه حكومة ما بتشغل الناس، ما في حكومة بتشغل الناس كله ما في. لكن لو سينا بسلاح ده وديناه للحكومة المستثمر من بيجا من برا بيجي بيشتغلوا ما في زول بيضربوا. لكن سي خايفين. بلد ماشي فوقه زول عريان ماشي شايل سلاح ده بخوف المستثمر. لازم نحن نبني بلدنا. حكومة بلغ قروش وين إذا كان ما بندفع ضرائب نعمل شغل عشان ندفع ضريبة للحكومة. حكومة بلغ قروش من وين؟ دي كلام بتاعي وأنا هنا أنا بنادي نائبة رئيس الجمهورية أمنا ربيكا نياندين لمبيور عشان يخاطبكم. شكرا جزيلا.
Dr. Benjamin Bol, Mel, Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, Excellency Mama Nyandeng, Mabior, Vice President, Excellencies, Senior Advisors to the President, Excellencies, Ambassadors, Governors, Ministers, the Parliament is also here. Good afternoon. The protocol is observed. Hagiga ana ma bukun in this speech but I can give condolences. Yau give duru. Lakin ana بقدم الناس لكن عايز أقول حاجة. أنا وزير الدفاع في وقتي I'm sorry إنه نجي نفقد نحن في تنفيذ السلام ونفقد senior cadres, Jorolat, like David Majur, في زمن ده. I'm sorry. ولا يموت في يد بتاعت جنوبين ومات ناس كثير يوم ده نحن في حرب مع السودان عام فورسز في ناصر سنة 83 84 قبل قالوا منجور زميله فينا ده honorable دينغ داود دربهم سوا وهرب في ناصر ومالوالقاو سوا دينغ داود موجود وهنا معود. أنا عايز أقول إنه كلام بسيط يا جماعة. جينيسيس بتاعت مشكلة بتاعنا ده ما برجع لاتفاقية اللي قاعد مدعو كل سنة كل ما مدعو يجي يحصل تاني انفلاتات. وأنا بكرر كل ما نمضى سلام الجيش بتاعت أيوه وكداك اسمه براو ببدأ البرا ما في هنا. لو منجور مات الليلة ده مات في يد بتاع أيوه وايد عامي أساسا ما كان في جنوب السودان خلقوه 1993 في إسبليت بتاع ناصر يا وجاب وايد عامي sometime بكون في يد بتاع سلطان ولا بكون في يد بتاع كجور لا يقول نعم. ما هاجم ملكال قبل كده وهاجم حتى جنبه ماشي فوقه يا كان 1991 معروف. لكن لو سلام مدعو ايو leadership ما قدر انه يستنكر حدث بتاع وايامي وما قدر to dissolve the white army remain والقيادة بتاعه هنا. ليه we are sharing government white army remain outside. ليه وبنقول حكومة واحد. أنا بقول وبأخص باسم بتاع دكتور يك مشار وهنا وقيادة بتاعه فينا حكومة مواد. لكن أيوه لسه برا ما جاينا ده ما ده few generals و few ministers أيوه remain. We are now running government in one country, two government in one country. حقيقة يقولوا. فالكلام ده لو ما انتهى أنا بطلب من نائب الأول إنه يعلن إنه ما في حاجة اسمه وايد عامي تاتو. خلي الحكومة يكون واحد. ده حاجة يمكن أقوله. أنا بيقول إنه جينيسيس بتاعت مشكلة ده ما ده أيوه. دكتور يك يا جماعة كان في sharing governance cluster governance forum. governance forum. لمن governance forum ما في resolution طلع في governance forum من ضمنهم إنه كان يفتحوا طرق عشان revenue يرجع في خزينة العام. لأن جاز ما في الريزولوشن ده جاء عملوا ذاته أدونا كتعليمات في دفاع يفتحوا طرق. تسمع كويس ده يا beginning بتاع مشكلة. ديبتي CDF ما داري نفس الكلام ده. قال إنه عندنا دولتين عندنا ترتري تدايو قال ما يهبشوا في غرب سوايا وفي ريبا نايل وفي إيسان أبا نايل وفي اريا بتاع بنتيم قال ما يهبشوا. يبقى خروج بتاع حكومة ده بيجي من وين؟ لو جاز ما في وده دكتور يك يا جاب ريزولوشن ده حقيقة يقولوا ده كلام بدأ بين قيادة تأتي أنا قدرت أهله لكن ما قدرت يا جاب شكله في وسط إكواتوريا وفي ناصر ممكن يحصل في محل تاني. أنا ما بمشي قدام ده أقول إنه ده بداية بتاعت مشكلة يا وده. ناصر ده يا جماعة ده part of South Sudan. ده أول محل أسئلة بدأ هاري فوق التعريف. في ناس هايين جورال كون منيان فينا رئيس بتاعنا هاري في ناصر. Why is it Nasir today? بقتلنا في زمن الحرب مع السودان وبقتلنا في وقت نحن في سلام. كادس كتير بتاع SPLA مات في 1991. intellectual اللي كان في ناصر ماتوا. فرنسا يا جماعة ناس ماتوا ناس كتار. لكن نحن قال لو أنت قتلت أخوك بشكل في سبب تهينه لما تقلع قماشاته بخواجة نحن ما واحد. فأنا كان بيتكلم كتير لكن ما يوم بتاع الكلام. أنا بقول إنه فرصة ما فرصتي، بدي فرصة للناس ثانيين، لكن عايز أقول إنه كلام بفهم بغلط. أنو لو أيو ما قال إنه ما dissolve White Army ده إرهابي بتقولوا أنا شاكل مع White Army، لكن ما نوير ما قبيلة نوير أسمعوا كويس، ما قبيلة نوير لو ما في فوقه ولان ولا جاجان ما في فوقه. لما الناس بيهرب ياو في ناس بيساعدوا قبيل ما هرب نوير، إنما الناس بتاع White Army بقول government بتاع دينكا، جيش بتاع SFPDF ده دينكا. كيف كلام ده؟ والناس الكتار ده دينكا حقيقة يقولوا. أنا كوزير الدفاع بيقول إنه ما في قبلية، ناس كلها هنا، لكن White Army لو ما أخذت سلاحات وما سلم ناصر البدان هاد فوقه كلام فيه. أنا بكيف كده أنا بشكر الناس أسامو إنه يسيروا الجيش بتاعنا في السكة ده. الناس اللي قبضوا يجيبهم، فأنا ما بمشي قدام. لو في زول بعدين ما يترجموا ما في زول بيهبشونا. انتوا عارفين قبلية ده ما موجود، إنما زول واحد أو بيجيبه وما موجود. 1991 92 أنا فينا في بغادة من رجاف، أنا ما قبلت قبلية ده. إنه لو في زول من قبيلة كان ده نوير ولا أي قبيلة أنا ما داير، ما أنا ربيت في ناصر أنا. لكن دول اللي بيقول كل يوم قال لا ده حكومة دينكا شيء مقارن نوير كده يقوى يفرقوا ده كجه الحكومة كده جنوب كجام دينكا ده كله. فأنا كلمت كتير ما فرصة عندي كلام كتير. جبلت تقوى حكومة برا وجيش برا بتاع ناصر ودود بتاع جنوب السودان، وده بنيو ده يرجع لخزينة العام. شكرا جزيلا. كتير أنا بشكر فرصة ثانية إنه نعترف إنه قبل ذكرت
أسبي على مويي جنوب السودان وياي جنوب السودان وياي سلبا كير ما يادر وياي سلبا كير ما يادر وياي جون ولا وياي. أنا بتكلم بعربي، واليوم ده زي ما قالوا ده ما يوم بتاع الكلام طويل، ده يوم نحن جينا كناس بتاع جنوب السودان وكناس بتاع جونغولي وكناس بتاع أول عشان نجي نقوي أنفسنا بالشيء الكبير اللي حصل. موت بتاع المجر طبعا دي كارثة وطنية للبلد ككل، ما لجيش براهم ولا لأسرة بتاعه ولا لنا كناس جونغولي. دي فاجعة بتاعت جنوب السودان، وأنا مبسوط إنه الCDF وضح الخلفية اللي حصل. And also I'm happy that the narrative given by the CDF in presence of our brother, the ambassador of South Africa, is good, because he's one of the grantors of the peace agreement that was signed. And the assassination of Majur also must remind us of the stance taken by His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit when he hesitated in Addis Ababa to sign that peace agreement. We did not understand what he knew by then, that this agreement ma kan بطريقة proper. Now the incident of Nasir has shown us very clearly that the mandate of the SSPDF, which is to protect the territorial integrity of this country, is not respected by this agreement. Because the incident of Nasir has shown that we have not only two governments, but we have two sovereignties in this country. If SSPDF is expected to take permission to do the core function without deployment of troops, rotation of forces into the mafia, well, land is also owned not by this country. You must seek permission somewhere for forces or for trucks and vehicles to move في طريق ده. دي حصل. I think His Excellency the Ambassador of South Africa, and I'm unfortunately the Ambassador of America has left. It's high time for us really to revisit that agreement that was signed. I'm bringing this up now as a governor of Nile State, heading to that territory, Nile, where there are 6 counties under the SPLA-IO. I'm going to be confronted with what confronted Julton Balog and Paul Nang. Because I think I'm going to be the chair of security committee in that Nile State. But if we have dual sovereignty, then my function will be very difficult. That's why it's very important that we must bring this point to the attention of the grantors. Because if we think that we are a sovereign country and we act responsibly based on the oaths we have taken, based on our mandate, the international community will say, no, we are violating the agreement. And if you are to exercise your powers and functions as stipulated in the Constitution, and why our heroes died, نقول طريقة ده ما صح. فالوضع اللي لنا ما كويس. لكن let us take this opportunity بتاع ماجور ماجور مات بنفس الطريقة اللي مات به فرانسيس مور. فرانسيس مور رفض يجري to be labeled cowardice إنه جرى. He refused. قتلوه في الميل اللي هو كان قاعد فيه. والضباط بتاعه were also heroes. رفضوا to abandon their commander. ماجو رفض. لو كان زول اليابان كان عنده opportunity طيارة ياتو كان يجري. لكن هو بيعيش شنو؟ يا نسوان تاع ماجور ويا غالو تاع ماجور. لأنه عارف إنه بموت يوم ما. لكن كون يموت وشايل في ظهره فضيحة وكلام الناس كله إنه ماجور جرى ما كويس. فأنا دايرك يا مرة بتاع ماجور مات بطريقة شريفة. أي زول بموت لكن القيمة اللي أنت بتريو للموت بتاعك this one matters. That's why martyrs أحسن مننا. فلازم نعمل حاجة البرضي أو الماتايز في الميل اللي هم قاعدين فيه في their graves إنه الأشيمنت ده نحن شايفين أمارات، نحن شايفين زلط، نحن شايفين we are well dressed، نسوان بتاعنا بسوق أربات ما جد ساكت، جاب دم رجال القدموا بتاعتهم ده. فنحن نحافظ على الحب بتاع البلد ده. وانا مبسوط منكم يا قيادة العامة بتاع الجيش الشعبي ويا اهل بتاع المجر انه you did not incite our society, you did not incite our community. ده ذكرني الموت بتاع المجر ده طلوع بتاع امنا Nyandeng يوم موت بتاع ابونا جون جرنج دي مابيور. Nyandeng طلع بستيتمنت قوي يخلي الناس يقعدوا. نحن نتذكر ستيتمنت بتاع الرئيس بتاعنا سلفا كير مياديد. انا قاعد اتذكر ناس انه الحصل يوم داك وتدخل بتاع الرئيس سلفا كير بيذكرني برحله بتاع يسوع وكل ما كان في الوابور وحصل عاصفه والناس اللي معهم خافوا وقالوا الرسول وينه؟ يسوع وينه؟ فتوروا يسوع انه نحن قربنا نموت المركب بيقلب وقام فوق وكان نايم. ده نفس التدخل اللي عمله سيد رئيس الجمهوريه سلفا كير مياديد وكان ما فاجئ الشعب انه انا الساعه 4 انا عندي كلمه داير اقول للام بتاعي والكلمه ده خلى البلد هادي. ما معناه نسينا الألم وما معناه نسينا موت بتاع مجر الفريق مجر. فأنا بشكركم يا أسرة، أنا بشكركم يا جيش شعبي وبشكر القيادة العامة ورئاسة الجمهورية ومجر rest in peace, rest in peace. We will achieve your goal, your objective اللي انت كنت ماشي به ناصر to protect the territorial integrity of this country. شكرا جزيلا.
To come and represent my fellow colleagues, ambassadors who are accredited to South Sudan. We are here as I want to also thank our leaders who have given us this opportunity to come and pay our respects. I bring condolences from my president in South Africa, His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, who said I should inform the people of South Sudan that South Africa is mourning with you. I'd also want to thank His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit for according our fallen hero, Lieutenant General David Majur Dak, an official military funeral status. It is sad that we have to lose life in the manner in which we have lost our general. As said by the previous speaker, he didn't go to Nasir to go and fight. he went to Nasir to go and protect the territorial integrity of South Sudan, which we all want. It is unfortunate that his good intentions were not adhered to. Instead, those who felt that he had to die with his colleagues used their bullets on them. For how long are we going to be eating our own as black people? We cannot afford to go on and on eating our own. Africa needs peace. Africa needs South Sudan to show that South Sudan wants to lead in showing that from where we fought as far back as in the 1980s to where we are today, we do not want our children to grow under a barrel of a gun. Our children are traumatized as of now because each and every day which passes, they get to know that someone has been killed in another county or state or even here in Juba. Until when are we going to live under the spell of a gun? We go to churches, we go to mosques, we pray God, and we pray Allah, and we pray for them to give us mercies so that we live in peace. And we pray for them to give us strength. We pray for them to give us wisdom so that we can build our youngest country in Africa. We want South Sudan to take its place in Africa. We want South Sudan to lead in all aspects of socio-economic developmental projects, not in aspects of killing one another in Africa. We are now hogging the international news, wrongly so. Even peddlers are beginning to say South Sudan is a slaughterhouse. We've got to spend time trying to debunk what peddlers are saying. And unfortunately, what people say in the media, media runs so fast. Even in my own country, I mean, South Sudan is basically head news in terms of saying South Sudanese are killing each other, and which is not true. We have to try and protect our own country. Our leaders, I am happy that we have our vice presidents here. Please appreciate the fact that our people in South Sudan want peace. It is you, our leaders, who must preach peace. It is you, our leaders, who must bury the hatchet and say we want to get this country to be like other countries. Our children want peace. Our children want us to build good schools so that they can participate economically in the business of the world. And South Sudan has got a number of numerous intellectuals who can basically be torchbearers for our children. Our children are vulnerable, our children are hungry, and in ending my speech, I want to say, go well, my Lieutenant General. I hope, and as I said last week, that your blood, instead of spilling more blood in South Sudan, your blood will nourish the tree of freedom in South Sudan, so that we all love South Sudan. Thank you.
I extend my condolences to the family of Major General David Majur Dak. I commend my colleague, the Ambassador of South Africa, for his profound message in support of peace. Today, we have heard from the late General's family, and I have heard a lot about the late General since the violence that led to his death. I have heard that he loved his country. I have heard that he sought peace and security for the South Sudanese people, and I have heard that he sought to support the South Sudanese people. I represent a country that for decades has provided support to the South Sudanese people. Candor. So in that candor, I say, the best way to honor the deceased is to act now to prevent further loss of life. The best way to honor the deceased is for leaders to publicly commit to peace and make clear to the South Sudanese people that all must reject violence as a tool for political competition or as a tool to resolve differences. The best way to honor the deceased is for leaders to engage in direct dialogue to restore and maintain peace, and this dialogue must put the interests of all the South Sudanese people first. That is the best way to honor Major General David Majur Dak. I heard the message from my colleague calling on leaders to appreciate that South Sudan wants peace. I call upon leaders to appreciate that with new position comes new responsibility, and with that responsibility, peace must come first. Dialogue is needed urgently, for in its absence, the violence that brought us to today's sad event continues. We deplore the violence that led to Major General David Majur's death. We deplore the continuation of the violence which is causing deaths and injuries and placing so many people at risk. We deplore the absence of dialogue among leaders to end the violence. May Major General David Majur rest in peace. May God bless his family, and may God bless all who work for peace. And may God bless South Sudan. Thank you.
PDF fall under the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and after the loss of our colleague, it was the prerogative of Lieutenant General Hulton Balok, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, to write a condolence message. It bears his name, but I was given the honor to read it on behalf of our Minister of Defense. It goes as follows. Republic of South Sudan, Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs. Condolence message. To the family of the fallen hero, Lieutenant General David Majur Dak, it is with deep sorrow and a heavy heart that we extend our most sincere condolences to the family of Lieutenant General David Majur Dak, who tragically lost his life on March 27th, alongside 7 members of the SSPDF and a member of the United Nations peacekeeping mission. They were brutally assassinated by members of the White Army and SPLA-IO forces in Nasir during the process of evacuation by enemies after enduring 3 days under siege, 3 days without food and water. Lieutenant General David Majur Dak was a true hero, having joined the SPLA in 1983 and was among the first group to be trained as part of Jamus Battalion. After his basic training, he specialized in Air Defense Unit and continued serving. He was a dedicated soldier who lived through and survived numerous operations, including the battle for control of Joko, Malwal Gauss, and Nasir in the year 1984. Of course, he fired his first bullet in Nasir in 1983, and after 42 years of long distinguished military service that lasted 42 years, he also lost his life in the very town he fought 42 years back. In those dark days and times, he witnessed loss of comrades, including Lieutenant General Francis Ngor Ngong. Now, even after death, or in death, the legacy of Lieutenant General David Majur Dak stands tall. His sacrifice made while defending our country and its constitution cements his place as a national hero. His final act of bravery in Nasir will be forever remembered. His decision to stay behind to ensure the evacuation of soldiers rather than giving himself the first opportunity to be evacuated is a powerful demonstration of leadership and loyalty. This type of action amplifies the concept of leading by example. We also convey our deepest condolences to the families of our fallen comrades in Nasir. There are two heroes, like Lieutenant General David Dak, who paid the ultimate price in the service of our beloved nation. The Ministry of Defense is closely monitoring the situation and has been actively coordinating efforts with the survivors of Nasir who have sought refuge among the local chiefs in different villages of Ulang County, Nasir, and Akobo of Nile State. On the same note, I would like to announce to you that the recovery operations bear some fruit. We were able to extract the first batch from Bong, Payam of Akobo County in Nile State, and the second from Rubot of Ulang County of Upper Nile State. The rest are still on standby for them to be extracted to the nearest SSPDF control garrison, either in Upper Nile or in Nile State. We are diligently continuing to identify ways to evacuate these brave officers and men to SSPDF control areas. We are deeply grateful to the local authorities for the hospitality and for securing the survivors during this difficult period. Furthermore, we extend our condolences to the United Nations mission in South Sudan and the family of the fallen peacekeeper who lost his life alongside our hero and our soldiers who died during the last battles for the control of Nasir. Their commitment and security in our nation will never be forgotten. Lieutenant General David Majur Dak, along with all those who perished, will be remembered as a symbol of sacrifice, valor, and devotion to the cause of peace, justice in our country. He was, a few minutes ago, laid to rest as a hero. For those who assassinated him, along with our servicemen, they will be held accountable for their actions. They will not go unpunished. They'll face the consequences for what they have done. May their souls rest in eternal peace, and may their families find comfort in knowing that their loved ones are heroes who served our nation with unwavering dedication. We pray for quick and full recovery of the wounded soldiers. May they heal swiftly and find strength during this period. On this, I would like to make a kind reminder that Lieutenant General David Majur, at the time he lost his life in Nasir, he was a major in SSPDF. In line with honoring his sacrifice, he was promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General posthumously. That was the rank he received after he lost his life. So he was promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General in SSPDF posthumously. Posthumously meaning he was promoted after he had died. Thank you very much. And from now, you should be addressing him as a Lieutenant General in SSPDF. Thank you very much.
Chair, Youth and Gender Cluster, presidential advisors in prison, Minister of Defense, Lieutenant General Chulton, and the national ministers, Chief of Defense Force, General Dr. Paul Nang Bajok, the IGP, General Ibrahim Manuat Peter, my former Chief of Defense Forces, leaders of the church, our chief from Duke County, members of the community, generals of the SSPDF, all the mourners, good morning. I'm not going to make a speech, just here to welcome my CDF. And before that, I appreciate and congratulate our Commander-in-Chief, the President of the Republic, General Salva Kiir Mayardit, for ordering this state burial to be done for Lieutenant General Majur Dak Thel and his colleague, Ufarij Nasir. This state burial is symbolizing his burial and his members of his command, Ufarij Nasir, with him alone. Also, it's not for him alone, but it's for all these comrades. Until when we get their bone where they are lying to get buried. So this state burial is for all of them. We are asking what killed us while the country is implementing the revitalized peace agreement. We are for peace, the SSPDF, but we will still ask those actors, the heartless people who ordered this attack and this killing. Much will be said by my CDF, so I'm here asking General Dr. Folnam to welcome for the podium. We are for peace, but we will ask what killed our comrade. May the soul of our Lieutenant General David Majur rest in peace. Thank you.
His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, who is not here and who sent me here to acknowledge him. Her Excellency Mama Nyandeng, advisors, generals, all protocols observed. I'm here, one, to deliver a message from His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit. And the message is, he sent me to come and give his condolences to the family of Majur, General Majur. He do appreciate the courage that the family have shown the public. His Excellency also sent me to talk on behalf of him that the same message that he read out to the nation, that we should be calm, is the same way we should treat this matter today, this barrier. So I call upon the nation to be calm and treat this as isolated case. He also acknowledged the efforts the United Nations in South Sudan has done to try to bring General Major out of Nasir, but in vain, they couldn't make. Our appreciation all to the United Nations and the whole world for what they have done. spite of all this. We all call for dialogue, and dialogue brings peace. We call for the unity of our people in South Sudan, and we must unite and live together. Yes, it is a painful time to see such incidences, but all in all, we have to be very strong. To the youth, we call for the calm. All over South Sudan, refrain from revenge, because revenge doesn't take people anywhere. To the family of Gerald David Majur, Ben, again, I'm with you. Kumit dong, I'm with you. No, take heart. Yes, Mama Nyandeng might have said here, "Wachi berachu good," but we are trying our best. Therefore, General Majur, achi bidong ka aber, nanu kajatau. One ginu batau, where a bit of fee, to be anything. Walang CDF to take care, the government, and as President said, come yet kaya command. He appreciates all people of South Sudan. For listening to him, especially that day when things were hot. Now, these are the few messages from His Excellency. Now, we will be jam command as the Vice President from the SPLM side. We, Junubin, I think we are joking with the country. We are joking so much about the country. When this incident was taking place, at the time I just came to the system as a vice president. We had a meeting in presidency. And the meeting, what I said in the meeting was that, excuse me for my language by that time, what I was meaning, I said, let's stop playing games in this meeting. And let's not lie about peace. The audio is there. In that meeting, we ended up deceiving one another. Uncle McQuay was there. Riek Machar deceived me in that meeting. He told me that we are going to give responsibility about the troops, welcome of the troops to Sultan Torgil. Torgil there is a colonel in the army. Immediately after Riek Machar discovered that the boats were unable to go to Nasir, he gave orders to Tor. Another person that lied to me was Potkan. He's my friend. And we talk freely. But he lied to me. He said, Tor, the Sultan is now talking to people at night not to attack and so forth. But who are from Rizal and Nasir at night? People were drunk and Tor attacked our forces. Tor died in that battle. Another request that I did to His Excellency, Riek Machar, I told him, if you are not part of IO or White Army, let the IO forces act as a buffer zone between our forces and a White Army. He dodged me. He didn't answer. This White Army, they are fighting because the body of Tor Sultan, Fifi Kras Canada. I called again before they were attacked at 5 a.m. Vodka. I said, Port, please, let us help one another. This country is all our country. Again, Port clearly told me he cannot control them anymore because they are drunk. He's here, I can even talk to him. Same thing. We need to live in this country with honesty. If this peace is going to be peace that will benefit the nation and not individuals or parties, we need to be honest. We need to stop games. Now, what do we do to this nation? I will talk at my level as Vice President with proposals. The first proposal that I kept when things were hot in Nasir, together with the CDF, we called UN and said, okay, they can't then Nasir out of Shilni in a few war. I'm Chitala Nasir. Get them out. And leave Nasir, why damn you IO? We talk and talk. We talk until Riek was cornered on this. Riek was deceiving the UN. Well, American ambassador can't in. American ambassador, my German ambassador used to come to me. I tell them the same thing. If it is Nasir that is going to take the country back to war, take our people out safely. I would argue to Master, there are some people who are still hostage, 170. As German wars, they have contributed money to pay this Ulang people, at least. We are paying. We are paying for our people, the same people being kept hostage. We tried with the UN. I also talked to international communities that comes to me. I said for this peace to be the real peace, we need all the IO forces to move that side of Mankala, and I told Uncle Wally, all IO, that is Greater Upper Nile. For Greater Equatoria, they should move to Awinjibur. For Greater Barakazal, they should go to Moped. And government will support through NTC. Second, Riek Machar should peacefully give the order to his forces to move. if we need peace. I also asked them, Riek Machar, to denounce the white army that they are not part of IO. And I told Riek Machar. I also asked them, an international community, that Riek should remove that word, commander-in-chief of the IO. There should be commander-in-chief, one only. Likewise to the rest of the party members. I don't know whether Mama Nyandeng has got forces. Senator Delbag has got forces. Sawa has got forces. We should have only one commander-in-chief. These Nwabit Mugade Shubini, they are commander-in-chief. All. Which country can be moved like this? Demang no. So if we need peace, no update. And I mind, I don't have. I'm the only one who doesn't have. Only Salva-Kiir. But the rest they have. They should denounce and surrender the whole their army to South Sudan People Defense Force. We need peace, yes. But we have to do a lot about peace. Peace can be done in negotiation, lakin they can match a hand. It can be enforced. We need peace in our country. One that I request Dr. Riek Machar today is to immediately help in facilitation to release 170 soldiers that are in Ulang and the rest in Nasir. We should stop intimidating the locals through IOs and white army. I also want to appeal to the international community that South Sudan is dealing with terrorists backed by IO under the leadership of Salva, of Riek Machar. I'm sorry. The leadership should be one, which is Salva-Kiir. This is a must, because I'm the vice president in my party, and our party is the leading party in the country, and in the academia command. I would ask this to be implemented immediately at the level of IO or White Army, because they don't have difference, to stop intimidating the local people in Nasir, Nakobo, Ulang, and that side of my wood. My wood is peaceful. Because of, we want the army to be one. We also need a timeline for the vice presidents, because we don't want country to go to war. To voluntarily convenes a meeting with me so that we can solve the issue of one army, not two armies. I offer myself to talk to you about this. Mama Nyandeng, meanwhile the army are encouraged to facilitate those who are going also voluntarily to South Sudan Defense Forces areas. Either you surrender or you voluntarily also join us. It's important to join us. It's not about negotiation because we need one army. I've been talking to IGAD about this, the movement of troops to the region, to greater regions. I've talked to American ambassador and German. I've talked to IGAD. I've talked to UN and all those involved in peace. One army, that's what we should have. Let Majur, the gift that we can give to him today is to learn about the painful life he has experienced in Nasir, and eventually he left us. The gift that I can say is a total disarmament of all negative forces. I've already said that the movement of IO plus other or SAWA to our nearest positions are very important, is what I want to repeat here now. Disarmament means we don't want anybody in South Sudan to move again. And it is not something that we can negotiate with vice presidents or international community, because these people are living with us and they are killing. It's going to be done by the security organs effectively. Without fail, you are not allowed to move with a gun. Just want to be honest to you. We are asking the corridor of Nasir to relinquish a massive movement of armed group, whether you are IO or civilian armed, not to move. Our security organs has got capacity to see you if we are moving with guns. To CDF and all generals, the movement of our troops should be facilitated immediately so that we go to Nasir. Anybody that is blocking the troops going back to Nasir, whether IO or White Army, is considered terrorist. And today on this table, I'm on this podium, I want to just tell the international community that we are fighting terrorists backed by IO. And fighting terrorists is all over the world. So I call upon international community to help us fight terrorists backed by IO, to help us fight elements, negative elements that are not part of peace process. Yes, American ambassador is not here, but I can tell Donald Trump, you will hear this word from me. We are fighting terrorists. Therefore, we need you to label them terrorists, including those who are backing them. This is the military side. I am proposing also that there should be investigation to establish those or the parties that got involved in Nasir case. And those will start from the parties with their representatives or vice presidents that are leading this. This will be done by only one and only the Minister of Justice, who is responsible, or a lawyer of the nation, to establish and bring those links to Nasir case. So if you are part of it, even if you are vice president, then the law must be taken care of. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying that we are joking with the country because we talk and always brush off the realities. The link of Nasir case is going to be established. But we don't want people to say that this is political motivated. We have evidence. I have evidence. The nation have evidence. We will bring people who are doing this to justice. And why I want to say disarmament is one of the priority of anybody that the government of South Sudan will carry out under CDF, and especially General Olonyi will lead this process. We will all name you a terrorist, even if you are Dinka. And we all need the guns. And we don't need land cruisers to see where you are. And you will not attack us, you will not see us. So it is better to give us your weapons so that the country will be safe, so that the country can go back to agricultural program. I was actually calling for agricultural revolution conference. But Kalamde, Karab. Yeah, because I didn't get time. And I'm going whether they're scared or what, I don't know. But right now, cleaning Rakas, how we can build our country. First, I'm leading the economic cluster, but the economic cluster cannot work when we don't have security. And so I would be forced, to contribute also towards the security stability as a vice president. For our army, it is a time for you to organize yourself, and we support you. Single army, single commander-in-chief, Salva-Kiir Mayardit. Again, I want to call upon and ask the areas where these incidents are taking place to refrain from carrying guns and massive movement towards our army. You said you should go to the nearest South Sudan People Defense Forces and be with them. I repeat, the only gift we can give to Lieutenant General Majur is to disarm our people. And to deal with terrorists and those links to them. Thank you.
Revolutionary person. So in terms of military service, we had lost a very great person in terms of experience, in terms of bravery. And on a personal note, I had an opportunity to stay with him for 4 years in Mogri. Personally, if we did not choose the military profession, he would have been a very good comedian. He was full of humor. And to the family, of course, he's a father, a family man. So to his family is a great loss. Bearing in mind that in our society, 99% of breadwinners are men. And so a figurehead, a family figurehead is lost. Economically, it will be difficult. Socially, it will be difficult for the family and the bigger clan of where he comes from, the county, Nile State, and country.
And what's the leadership of SSPD going to do, since you mentioned that it's the breadwinner of the family, to the children and the grandchildren?
We leave it to the leaders when their time comes to speak. The whole leadership is here, the chief of staff is here. I'm sure when the time comes, he will be in a position to say what the command is ready to offer to the family. The Minister of Defense also here. I'm sure when his time comes to rise up and address the mourners, I'm sure we'll have something. The whole leadership is here. I'm very sure when each one of them is given an opportunity, they'll speak in their capacities, in their respective positions, and maybe I'm sure the family will not be disappointed.
Also.